According to the Secretary of State's office, Troy Balderson has won the special election for the 12th district. Good evening. I'm Colleen Marshall. I'm
Mark Taylor. Now, the margin razor thin here. Less than 2,000 votes separating Balderson and Democrat Danny O'Connor. Now, O'Connor has not conceded at this point. We, of course, have both sides of this race covered for you. Ted Hart live with Danny O'Connor's camp. But we start with Tyler Beckham, who's with Troy Balderson's camp. Tyler?
Yeah, Mark, Colleen, a tight race as we've been reporting, but a lot of excitement in this room here as expected. The race was tight and down to the wire among Balderson supporters here, and you can hear them behind me. They are clapping. They've been clapping as results came in, and Balderson inched toward a lead. We expect Balderson to take the podium here behind me and make some comments. We will, of course, let you know what he says and let you hear that when that happens, though. He is expected here any moment. This all followed comments he made last night, and the reason everybody was on edge, the comments made in Zanesville, telling supporters in attendance at an event in Zanesville, quote, "We don't want somebody from Franklin County representing us." So because of that, there was concern that potentially alienated a third of those voters in this district, and we've seen in Franklin County not quite a 2-to-1 lead for O'Connor, but the reverse is true in some of the rural areas. He took Licking, Marion, Morrow, Muskingum, and Richland County. Delaware County close, but in favor of Balderson, and all eyes, of course, on Franklin County here tonight. Guys, we're going to send it back to you, but expect to come back here as we expect Troy Balderson to take the podium and address his supporters. And you can hear them chanting, "Troy, Troy, Troy." Let me step back and see if he is near the stage. And he is not. So for now, we're going to go to NBC4's Ted Hart with the Danny O'Connor camp for reaction there. Ted.
Well, yeah, no concession here. The O'Connor campaign considers this race too close to call, so no concession speech yet from Danny O'Connor. He did make an appearance, though, here just a minute ago. This was expected. This was an extremely close race. It was an enthusiastic crowd here that gathered for the O'Connor campaign election night watch. They had high hopes despite the long odds for their candidate in a highly Republican, heavily Republican district. You know, as the results came in, it became apparent that this might come down to voters in Delaware County, and Troy Balderson may have benefited by President Donald Trump's visit to Delaware County over the weekend. This race has been viewed by some as a referendum on President Donald Trump, and to that extent, Democrats say that running so close in this district that was gerrymandered to favor Republicans was a victory even in defeat.
In a race that the pundits said we had no chance even being in. You proved them wrong. They gerrymandered and carved up a district to favor the establishment. But you know what? They never saw you coming.
And so while these results are still unofficial at this point, both campaigns actually will pretty quickly begin turning their focus toward the November midterm elections when these two candidates will run against one another in November. Local for you and live in Westerville at this point, Ted Hart, NBC4.
All right, Ted, thank you. Now, here is a look at the breakdown of how each county voted in tonight's special election for Congressional District 12. We take a look here. Muskingum County went Balderson with 66%. Licking County, also Balderson, 61%. Delaware, Morrow, and Richland counties, as you can see, all going through Troy Balderson, as well as Marion County here. The sole county that went blue here for Democrat Danny O'Connor at 65% is Franklin County. And what's really interesting about this is, of course, it looks like O'Connor's going to not win this race at this point. However, he came so close to just a razor-thin margin there by only carrying one county in this district.
And now that the special election appears to be over, the general election campaign can begin.